إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، قال أحد السلف: ليكن حظ المؤمن منك ثلاثة. One of the righteous predecessors said, let your believing brother or sister get from you one of these three. Number one, إن لم تنفعه فلا تضره. If you don't benefit him or you can't benefit, then don't harm him. When the companion came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he sallallahu alaihi wasallam guided him to the steps of goodness, and he keeps saying, I can't, what if you can't, what if you can't, what if you can't? He told him, stay at home and free people from your harm. So if you cannot benefit your Muslim brother or sister, then at least don't harm him. Because أحب الأعمال إلى الله, one of the most loved acts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is something that you benefit people with. أحب الناس إلى الله أنفعهم للناس. Most beloved in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who benefit others. So if you can't benefit, don't harm. The second one, إن لم تفرحه فلا تغم. If you can't make him happy, if you cannot please him, if you cannot bring joy to his heart, don't sadden him. بشره ولا تنفره. Give the good news, not the bad news. And also, the smile is a charity. What's the purpose of the smile? To bring happiness to your Muslim brother when you see him. So if you cannot make him happy or please him with anything you do, don't sadden him. Don't do something that gives him the feeling you don't like him or you hate him or bring him some bad news or some trouble or something. This is not the way to do it. And then the last one, the third one, وَإِن لَمْ تَمْدَحْهُ فَلَا تَذُمَّ. If you cannot say something good about him, something to cheer him up, to bring his spirit up, you see someone working on something and people not appreciating it, come and say something good for him so he keeps doing the good. Because if people don't appreciate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger, naturally they're not going to be appreciative to people. Therefore, you are supposed to be there to cheer one another. If you cannot do that, or you don't want to do that, then at least don't talk negative about him. Yeah, you know, he should have done this. Yeah, you know, he could have, and all of that, and you forget all the good things. Unfortunately, us Muslims, we tend to take the small portion, the small percentage, and magnify it bigger, the bigger percentage. Meaning, if this brother has 80% good and 20% bad, the 20% will prevail. And I will be talking for the 20% bad about him, and I will ignore all the rest of the 80%. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be just. Look how He talked to the man, the husband, if he doesn't like a manner from his wife. قال إن لم ترضى منها إن لم لا يفرق مؤمن مؤمنا إن كره منها خلقا رضي منها آخر. You should not dislike your spouse because both spouses, both ways. If you don't like a certain behavior or a certain manner, then there is another one to make up for it. If you have 80% and 20%, naturally you have more good than bad. The rule is إنما المؤمنون إخوة. The rule is we are brothers and sisters. And no brother or sister would like to make his brother or sister sad, or would like to talk about them in a negative way, or would like to harm them. Therefore, this is the idea that we should look for one another to please and to benefit and to talk good about them and avoid all the backbiting in particular. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us brothers and sisters for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.